You want to give me your overall thoughts of how spring has gone and leading into the spring game?
Yeah, spring has gone really well. Got a lot of new faces out and a lot of learning. A lot of new coaches out on the field, so a lot of learning in that aspect as well. But specifically with the defensive line, very pleased with where we're at. We graduated some guys, but when you develop a program, the next guy should be able to slide in and continue to go. And the older guys have really stepped up. Guys like Nick Begg and Comfort and Namdi. And then you got Logan and Derek, who played significant amounts of snaps, and so. Having them helps those younger guys like Pono and Zeus and Dallas and Will. So it's been good. It's been real good.
You still expect more experimentation leading in fall camp with these D-line guys? It seems like some guys have been moving around.
Yeah, you're always trying to find the right mix. We put Will Rogers, we slid him in at D tackle, and kind of a similar thing that we did in the fall. Something that we needed to do because of injuries in the fall, but now Will's getting bigger and stronger, and that adds some more competition to that position over there. It really pushes Nick Begg and Dallas Hobbs over there, and gives him an opportunity to get on the field. But you always got to mix and match some guys. We put Kingston at nose for a little bit, and just to see what he can do there, and because as you know, just like happened last year, injuries happen, and the next man's got to step up, and sometimes the next best might be at another position that we got to switch over.
You guys are pretty deep in the defensive end with Aguayo and Moore and Togo. Has there been any thought to maybe moving one of those guys over to the rush linebacker position where there's not as much experience?
There has been talks about that, but that's a tough deal to do, and they've done that in the past. We'll definitely do it if we need to. Obviously we wouldn't want to have to do that, but to stand up and take drops is a big change for guys. Just the same as we experimented last year with taking the rushes and trying to put them in the three-point stance, and they're like a fish out of water. So the two really don't mix that much, just because of the skill set that they have to do, and it's pretty tough because you want those ends to be heavier than the rushes. Because, again, the rushes are more of a hybrid between the linebacker position. But if we needed to, I think we got some guys that could switch over there and take care of that. But Chima's been doing a great job. Willie Taylor's been coming along. He's just a true freshman, so he's in the learning stages there. You've got Mason Vineyard, who's very athletic, so he's learning the spot. So I think we'll be okay.
Do you have an idea of what your first, second team D-line's looking like, or is it going to be a situation where a certain package calls for certain players out there?
Yeah, it'll always be a package where you want certain guys on the field at certain times. We're getting a lot of good competition. I feel really strong about Nick Begg and Comfort and Namdi at the starting spots, but it's always up for competition throughout the spring, and especially on the end spot. Namdi started in the third group and battled his way up to the first group, and it's just a shuffling deal, and after each scrimmage situation, they get graded, and the guy that graded the best and produced the most ends up being the starter, and so forth and so on. So we got 9 guys that I really think we can count on going into the fall, and they can shuffle around any moment. So feel good about it.
That was one of the more interesting things when spring ball started up. Was Namdi in that third row? Why was that? Was it?
Well, it was a combination. Namdi is, although he's a junior, he's at the top of his game. And we like for him to understand that being at the top of your game doesn't mean that you can slow down. You have to find a new ceiling, and you got to keep climbing. And I knew he was hungry to get to that spot. I know he's a competitor. I know he could handle it, and we wanted to see how he would respond, and he responded very well, showed great leadership, and worked his way right back up. So, and I think that's the type of person that Namdi is, and you see that on the day-to-day, and he's becoming one of the leaders on the team and on the defensive line in particular.
How far along was Pono when he got here, and then how much has he progressed since he got here in January?
Well, we want to, he's gotten in better shape, obviously, so that's been good. He's naturally strong, and we wanted to, he's got to break some habits that he's been used to playing. Like there's certain things that we like to do here at Washington State, and so we're trying to break him of those habits. And he's really done a really great job at it. And it's kind of interesting because as a freshman, you have a guy and hey, we got 4 years to develop him, and as a junior college transfer, his time period is cut in half. So we need him to develop even quicker than a guy like a Dallas or a Zeus. And so he's really been doing well. I'm very pleased with where he's at, and we'll take the rest of the summer and all through fall camp to get him ready to line up for that first game. So, but his attitude is outstanding. He's a hard worker, and that's what you need to play the defensive line.
Talked about adjusting to the speed of the game and the speed at which you guys play defensively. Is that a surprise to a lot of players who come in and aren't used to how quickly maybe a defense can play and adjusting to that part of it?
I think so. We recruit off of speed. The first question we ask is, can they run? And we try to verify that through various resources. And, once they get here and they see how fast the calls come in, how fast our offense goes and everything that goes into it, and then even, playing in the Pac-12, I mean, you got a lot of teams that line up and go and some great offenses. So, they get baptized into it pretty quickly, but they adjust very well to it.
Is it safe to say Zeus has taken a bigger step forward than expected? He was a guy that showed up at the end of fall camp last year, and he seems to be getting pretty good reps out there.
Yeah, he's really helped us out at the nose spot. He's trimmed down a little bit, and he's worked on his flexibility, so that helps his speed. He's naturally big and naturally powerful, so he's going to be a guy that has a chance to line up and play. So he's hungry to keep playing and get a chance to get out there on the field, and so he's in the learning stages because, like you said, he got here at the end of fall camp and basically went right to the work team, helping the offense out. So this is really the first true learning opportunity for him, and he's coming along very well, and we'll definitely have a role on the team come the fall.
Have you been in touch with Herc at all the last few months, and how do you kind of see next week NFL draft going for him, and how do you see him kind of adapting to the NFL and whatever kind of role he plays?
We've only talked a couple of times. Those guys they're busy getting themselves ready. They don't want to sit there and chat it up with me. But nevertheless, he's such a hard worker, and he loves the game of football. And an owner's going to see that, a GM's going to see that, I think, and they're going to give him an opportunity. He may not be playing defensive line. He may be a linebacker. But I tell you what, wherever they put him, they're going to get a great young man that, once again, loves the game of football, and that's going to work his tail end off at wherever they put him. And that's the one thing that he brings to the table, because when you see him run around on the film, the film doesn't lie in that aspect.